Hey guys, in this video I paint my newly laid slab in Jotomastic 90 epoxy floor coating. It ended up being 99% prep, 1% actual painting, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think. I may have jumped the gun a little bit with the pressure washing. The first thing I actually need to do before that is I'm going to give it a bit of a scrub with some hot water and dishwashing detergent, something a bit mild, just to help lift off any of the crud and grime and gross stuff that's been in here since I actually etched it. We've had a few animals tracking through here and had a few tradies as well, dropping their sushi around the place. So a bit of detergent will likely help just loosen up all that kind of stuff, and you know, it might even help with the that concrete stuff that's been etched off and just kind of set in place. It might help with that, you know, loosening that up. I guess the next job is to actually get the pressure washer going. Yeah, recommended by the people from the distributors. They said, yeah, you definitely don't want to be wasting your time with a small pressure washer. And this stuff will actually get right into the pores of the concrete as well and pull out as much of that fine silt that's been etched off. Look, we'll see how much we can get done. I'm hoping to do it all tonight. It's about 7 o'clock now. Sun is still out, obviously. Beautiful day here, nice and calm, all the birds getting ready to roost for the night. Not around here anyway. I'm gonna get this thing fired up. Let's go. So there we go, all finished, and it's still sunlight. So how good's that? I don't know why, but I had it in my head that was gonna take like hours and hours and hours and hours, and it turned out to be maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. But definitely if you're gonna do this, if you've etched your concrete or you need to clean it after grinding, whatever, definitely hire one of these. It was I think $130, $140, money well spent. There were a few spots of like stain spots from where the leaves had started to break down. I went over with the washer, like held it there and just blasted it, and it just wasn't, they just weren't coming out. So I don't know, I don't know, I might do some research. I might have to re-etch it, or it might just be fine, I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably going to let this dry out for a couple days, and it's Thursday now, and we'll see. We might try and tape it up, mask it up tomorrow or Saturday, and then paint it up. So see how we go. I reckon I'm meant to be on a diet, but I reckon I have earned myself a beer for tonight. Alrighty guys, we're back in the shed. It's been about a week since I hired the pressure washer. There's been a few things come to light and a few things I've done a bit of research on and realized I need a fix. So firstly is the word for the silt, it's latents. So whenever you etch or grind, you get a layer of that slimy, superfine sediment. It's called latents. You need to get rid of as much as you can. That's what causes the adherence issues with the coatings, epoxy or whatever paint system you're using. I've bought some builder's film. I'm gonna block that door because the door isn't being installed for another couple of weeks. Just to save me sweeping and vacuuming all the time. The last thing, I did some research and my leaves here, my leaf imprints here, that's from the plant matter breaking down and decomposing and leaching chemicals into the concrete. It won't come off with a pressure washer and you need to, I thought about re-etching it. I was going to do a comparison of re-etching it and using another treatment, but I actually ran out of the hydrochloric acid. So I'll just do the other solution, recommended solution, which is hydrogen peroxide. I've got a couple of bottles from Chemist Warehouse. It's like $5, I think, and they're only 200 ml. You can probably buy it so much cheaper in bulk, but I was I needed it now. Alrighty, so this is a pretty light stain, I'd say here. I've got the hydrogen peroxide, I've got a bucket of water, a scrubbing brush, and a towel. I probably should be wearing gloves for this, but the stuff I've got here is only 3%, so not heaps strong. I reckon I might just pour some on, see what it does, and then add some water and scrub it in, maybe. I don't know. We'll just see how this goes. It could be fine. That doesn't seem to be doing fucking anything. I don't know, apparently Google said it's tannins or tannus or some kind of chemical that causes the issue, and that the hydrogen peroxide will actually, I don't even know. Apparently you can use bleach as well. Alrighty, so I actually did find the hydrochloric acid, this stuff here, probably find it from Bunnings. When I packed it up, I put it underneath my pressure washer, and I just did a test before and it seems to have lifted that stain off, and I think it is worthwhile for me to go through and try and remove as many of these stains as I can, just for peace of mind. The hydrogen peroxide does seem to have changed the colour a little bit of the concrete that it's touched, but I've just got a little diluted solution here. It's probably, I don't know, half a litre, and just a splash of hydrochloric acid. And as you can see, fizzes up straight away. You don't want it to be super aggressive, but yeah, it's totally lifted up that stain. So I'm gonna actually quickly run around and do just a little bit on these. I put up a piece of like builder's film here, come on, from the outside. And that was an absolute prick to put up by myself. Look, I'm gonna be honest, it could be a fruitless endeavor. It might just fall down in the middle of the night or blow down or whatever, but I've got to try and keep the dust out and keep it as clean as I can, especially when I spent that long on the inside. Yeah. Well, the next step is just the last bit of prep with the tape and then painting. So everything was ready for painting today. It's about 36 degrees, a bit too hot to be putting the paint down, I reckon. But more importantly, it's just so windy. And I've tried to tape up this door. It's hanging on for life, I reckon. It's actually a total fire ban today. I don't think because of the temperature, but I just think because of that wind. Yeah, that would really increase the chance of spread of fire and risk and all that. So, bit shit. I've put some rocks and stuff, some more cement there, try and stop this from blowing in. But if I'm in there painting and it, you know, gives out, then that's game over. Like it would be ruinous. So let me just get out of the sun. It's actually really quite warm, but yeah. The wind is supposed to ease off this afternoon, about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. For now, I'm just going to focus on taping everything up in here, vacuuming up and getting it ready. And then hopefully this afternoon, hopefully, fingers crossed, the temperature kind of drops a little bit, but importantly, the wind actually holds off. Man, that's really, yeah, really gusting in here. You can see I've done the tape trick, the plastic and tape trick over the slab to see if the slab has any moisture in it. And these have been overnight sitting here and they're fine. I did have a third one over here. So I was actually a little bit concerned in here when I hosed it out that second and third time. Really helped with the dust and the latents. So if I kind of do that, there's like no dust on my hands at all. The only stuff that's in here is just grit that's kind of blown in and, you know, leaves here and there. So I'll definitely be giving it a once over. But yeah, didn't want to have to do it, but everyone says online to wash and wash and wash, and it really does make a difference. I did it once with the pressure washer, and I thought that would be enough, but yeah, you could just rub your hands on the slab and pick up dust. So I rinsed it through, scrubbed it down again and rinsed it through twice more, and it's actually made a huge difference. Now, almost ready to go, but I am gonna try and repair some little things. Looking at it closer, I'm pretty sure that's actually some clay that's kind of made its way in there. Just gonna, yeah, that stuff there. Probably could do this with a steel wire brush, I think. This is all I got for now. So ready to go now. It's just, the product I'm using is just a pretty cheap, I think it's called Dingo Rapid Set. It's just a mortar. And I need bugger all. I've obviously mixed up too much, but I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what happens. I did have trouble before using it on Hebel, which is quite powdery, and I had trouble with adhesion. And then I had to wet the surface to actually help it stick so it didn't dry out and suck out the moisture from the actual mix. Now, I don't know if I'm meant to do that or not. Anyway, let's just see what happens. Obviously mixed up way too much. So I'm definitely not doing it correctly. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm actually gonna I considered fixing the other ones, but seeing how this one's going, I don't think I care that much. I found a tool up in the house. It's just some cheapo troweling thing, and it's better. I think it's because it's got a thinner edge to it compared to this plastic shit. I mean, I shouldn't be blaming the tools. It's definitely the user fault here, a user error here. I remind you guys again, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. Alrighty, so that was a massive fail. I gave it a good hour, maybe 2 hours to dry. And as I was kind of just brushing the surface of it, the mortar just kind of powdered away. I reckon probably not the right product for the job, and more than likely the way I did it as well, probably didn't do it right. I'm sure, you know, someone with a bit more experience could get it to work with a different technique or something like that. But yeah, I just couldn't get it to do it. So I did a quick search online at Bunnings, came up with stuff here, which is concrete bog. Apparently it sets up really quickly, and it's like a 2-part kind of like I do a lot of carb body work and that kind of stuff, so it reminds me of that two-part filler, except obviously this has got different, you know, makeup and all that kind of stuff. So I bought a few spreaders, one to mix it on and then one to mix it with, and kind of get a nice flat surface there. I might take the tape off on this one and then kind of get a nice level finish, I'm not sure. I just put the tape there to contain the mess. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Some people online said it sets up really, really quickly, like way too quick. And just having a look at the can, it said something like 1 to 3, where was it? 1 to 3% activator by weight. So if you mix up just a little bit and then you put a bit too much on, it's just gonna go rock hard really, really quickly. So I reckon I'll just do a tablespoon or so and then just a slight bit of this. Another trick with these two-part fillers is sometimes these things can settle out, separate out in there. So I just usually give it a nice little massage before I use it, and no doubt there'll be some settling out or, you know, liquid on top of this stuff here. But yeah, anyway, let's see if we can be more successful with this one. Right, I'm just gonna leave it. I can't be buggered. Oh man, I'm sweating, it's so hot in here. I reckon I'm just gonna leave it like that, whatever. Apparently it doesn't shrink back at all, I'm not sure. Do I wanna muck around with that some more? I don't know. Probably shouldn't be doing this. Oh, fuck. It's a bit grabby. I think that's because it started to work. Set. I think I've made that worse. Of course I've made that worse. Why did I have to touch it? Oh, there we go. Right, don't touch it again. Just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna... It's a little bit below the surface, but whatever. I'm gonna go do the other ones. I'm gonna let my intrusive thoughts in with this one. I'm gonna give it one more go. Found the other ones I scraped it like forwards and it kind of made it better. Rightio. Right, I'm not going to touch that. That's pretty good. I'm going to leave that. Rightio, so I finished painting Friday night about 8:30. It is now Sunday about midday. So been 40-ish hours since I've done it. I haven't been in yet. I've been around pulling the plastic tight again and all that kind of stuff. I've had a little peek in, but I actually haven't had a proper walk in. I'm actually kind of scared, to be honest. Let's see what's happening in here. Righto. Oh man, bugs. One over there too. Rightio.